Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel, or if you are new, hi, hello, welcome for your first time. My name is Kaylee. I'm so happy you are here. I hope you are having an incredible day. In today's video, we are going to be cleaning this bookshelf as well as doing a book unhaul, which is taking the books I don't want and setting them aside so I can donate them. Or for a lot of these, I already know I'm giving them to my mom or sister, or maybe my mother-in-law as well. We'll get more into that later. Also, you should note that this is my husband's side of the bed, and we are not going to judge his very large Pokemon collection. I'm pretty sure both of the drawers are also filled with more Pokemon cards, so. Also this, so. But we're not judging. We're not gonna judge how much money he's spent on Pokemon cards. No, never. I should also note that this is a Mountain Dew plus a Rockstar lemonade plus raspberry syrup plus vanilla cream, and it gives me energy, which I need, but if I act a little crazy or if my hands are shaking a lot, this is the culprit. I don't even like soda, but this is the smallest size they sell, so. America. I'm hoping this doesn't take too long. I feel like it shouldn't because it's just, you know, one bookshelf, but you never know. I like to draw things out. Usually that's a habit of mine. Let's get to work and I will talk about like specific books and stuff as we go along. This drink is so good. I'm obsessed with it. Look at all these ultrasounds. What were they doing there? We should be somewhere more safe. Can you guys hear what I'm watching? It's my favorite movie. Okay, so later we'll go over the books I get rid of, but there's gonna be a theme, and I'm gonna kind of tell you right now. If you don't know me and who I am, I live in Utah. I was raised Mormon, but my husband and I have since left the church. And a lot of the books that I'm getting rid of are religious books. So I just found this one that says Creating a Christ-Centered Home. And I have this really cute note from my mom in it. I've said before that I don't really want to talk about my reasons for why I left the church, so we're not going to get into any of that, but I am happy with my choices. I'm glad I left. I have no regrets or anything, but I care a lot about my mom. And so I'm going to keep things like this, even if they're more religious based, but I don't want this book. Okay, so I pulled almost everything out except the shelf, ignore that one. We're moving on to the next part where I am going to make a spreadsheet and cataloging literally every single book that's in the shelf. Also, I forgot to mention that I have a huge pile of books on my side of the bed, just like on the floor. So we're gonna try and fit those in here. But before I put anything back in, it's going to be cataloged. I love making spreadsheets, so I'm so excited about this. So it's just going to have like the title, the author, and whether or not I've read the book. And then I can also easily find new books to read by going to my spreadsheet. So that'll be fun for me. I also feel like I should talk about this shelf that I threw everything here. Are all my like textbooks. So I was an English major in college. So I took a class all about Charles Dickens, which I was supposed to read for my class. And then I failed that class because I stopped going because the teacher gave me like a D on one of my essays, and it put me into a mental spiral, and I stopped reading and writing for like 5 years. So thanks, professor. These books are very bittersweet for me. I want to keep them because I think I would one day like to read these when I don't have a professor in my head. I would like to read this someday, but on my own time. These books, this class is what put me in a spiral and eventually led to me dropping out of college. So hated that professor, still do. I also have a very large collection of Shakespeare plays. Ta-da! And not all of these were from a class. I just genuinely love Shakespeare. I also have this book, which was not for a class. This is like every single play, and I think there's some sonnets in here too. I'm kind of a nerd. I love Shakespeare. Not in a way where I can explain every single play and sonnet to you off the top of my head. I just love the fact that he wrote all these things that kind of became the basis of everything. Like one of my favorite plays, Romeo and Juliet, it's truly the basis of like any romance novel today, and I love that. Also, I wrote an essay on Hamlet once in college, and I got an A, and all the notes on that essay just made me feel like I was perfect and amazing. So I like Shakespeare. I like Shakespeare. I'm a nerd, but don't ask me to like explain things to you because I can't. Just go to Spark Notes, okay? Go to Spark Notes. You can figure it out. You can ask me questions, but I'm not going to be able to tell you things because I'm not that smart. I just enjoy Shakespeare. But yeah, I have so many books that were from college classes. Like, if they have these things, they're from the bookstore at Utah State. But like, I have all these. I have this one, which is signed. I wrote an essay on this, and then I won a contest thing, and I got to meet the author and like have breakfast with her. It was weird. I wasn't the only one. There were a bunch of students there. I'm not even positive that I like finished this whole book, but I won the essay contest. So this is a book that I'm going to keep because that's really special, and that was a cool thing. That was my freshman year. Like, I read this book the summer before I even started college and wrote that essay, and I got to meet her and everything like my first week of college, and it was like such a boost to my self-esteem. Man, college started off so good, and then I dropped out, so it's fine. I have no regrets about that, by the way. I'm like happy with the way my life has gone, so I don't care that I dropped out of college. It's just not for everyone, and it was one of those things that it was not for me. It just made me a mess. But yeah, like all of these textbooky ones I do want to keep, and a lot of them I didn't read or only like sort of read so I could pass the class. So they're ones that I would like to get to eventually, but I haven't yet. Do you guys want to see my very odd Harry Potter collection? So we got first book on paperback, second and third books, which my grandpa bought me because I was being a brat, and I was like, my sister won't let me read them. And so my grandpa was like, okay, I'll buy them for you. I was a brat. We do not have the fourth book. And then we have the fifth book without the jacket, and it's destroyed. And this is my husband's copy. You can tell because if my husband has a book, he'll destroy it. The sixth book, which I think is also my husband's. And then we have the seventh book, and this is like the UK version, because my husband was in the UK for a while. He lived in Scotland for 2 years. He was on a mission. But he also visited London for a while. I don't know when he bought this. This may have been when he visited London for a soccer camp. I don't know. That's my odd collection of Harry Potter. So I want to find the fourth book, but you know, I don't really want to buy it new. I don't really want to buy it new. So I keep looking at like thrift stores and stuff trying to find the fourth book, but that's the only one I'm missing. I enjoy Harry Potter, if I'm being honest. loved the books, and I really love the movies. I think they're great. I have all those on Blu-ray and DVD, so I'm set. I don't need to buy any more, but I need to find that fourth book. Okay, so I just found this book. Is There Life After Housework? I feel like I got this for my wedding or something. I just found in this book a sales audit receipt thing from JCPenney. The customer signature is my husband's grandma. Do you see this? I don't want to show you too close for, you know, protecting her privacy reasons, but like, this is old. That's all I'm gonna say. I want to find a year on this. I'm gonna get rid of this book, but I need to show that to my husband because that's crazy. Hello. So I just picked up my children from school. I forgot to get a before shot of the bookshelf. As always, failing at being a YouTuber. Hoping this doesn't take me all day, but at the very least, I hope that we still have sunlight by the time I'm done. If you look at this mess, we're gonna cut it close, I think. Okay, so I just finished watching the Bob's Burgers movie, and if I'm being 100% honest, I just want to turn it on and watch it again. No other movie just makes me feel so good. Like, it just makes me so happy. I love that movie so much. As I mentioned, I was getting rid of religious books, and I got rid of most of my LDS fiction books because they just don't appeal to me anymore. But I did keep these ones, and I just briefly want to say that both of these books are the exact same plot as the movie Cars, okay? Cars is a romance novel, but in Pixar form. So like, both of these novels have a hotshot guy show up in a small town and he falls in love. These books are both Cars. I've been saying this for years, that Cars is a romance movie. But these two books, especially this one because he's a baseball player, Cars. Anyways, these are both LDS fiction books, so the characters are Mormon, but like, I love these books and I'm keeping them. I love them. There's another one, I can't find it right now, that I'm also keeping. Oh, this one, Sapphires and Smugglers. I kind of really want to make a video to give myself the excuse to reread this whole series. So this is book 5, I think. It starts with Emeralds and Espionage. I loved these books. I ate them up. They're so good. And like Bart, the main guy in this book, he was like my first book boyfriend. I was in love with him. I read these really young, if we're being honest. I love this series. I kind of want to reread it. This book, amazing. These two are just cute little romance books where the characters happen to be Mormon. I am keeping these ones. They're very special to me. Right, I have come across a group of books that all belong to my mom that I've borrowed, but I've had for many years, and I need to decide if I can keep them or not, because I haven't read any of them. Oh no, wait, I've read this one. I liked this one. I should read this one because it's by the same author, but I've never read them, and I kind of want to keep them to get to them. I don't know. I could technically give this one back because I have read this one though. My stack is getting smaller, so we're doing pretty good. You know, sometimes I come across these books that I read in college for classes, and it's like poetry and stuff, and I read through my notes because I annotated them for class, and I'm like, wow, I used to be really smart. I feel like I've lost a lot of that knowledge. I'm not as smart as I used to be. So that's fun. Okay, so I have this book here. Sorry, I'm so far away. It's called The Hidden Magic of Walt Disney World. I love, as a Disney nerd, how much of this book is no longer accurate. This edition was printed in 2013. Splash Mountain no longer exists. I don't think the Avatar world in Animal Kingdom existed yet. Like, there's so many things in this book that are inaccurate, but I love keeping this because I'm such a Disney nerd. Like, this is so cool to me. We have really fun lighting. Part of the thing that's really hard for me is that I have 3 daughters and I'm a little bit of a hoarder, and I'm constantly like, well, what if my children want to read it? So like this book in particular, which I did not like, is very much a teen book. And so I'm like, well, maybe my kids will like it when they're teenagers. I read this in my 30s, and that's maybe why I didn't like it so much. Do I keep it and save it for my children? I just don't know. All right, I think we got everything cataloged. I have 165 books in this spreadsheet. This is a Kindle. Sorry, I'm like just coming to the realization. I have a Kindle. It's right here. It's very old. I may need to figure out how to charge that and see what I can do with that. All right, welcome to the floor. So these are my piles of books I want to get rid of. I also have these CDs. 3 of them are still in the wrappers, but they're all like church CDs. If my mom doesn't already have this one, she will want it because it has Diamond Rio. I love Diamond Rio. My mom also knows the piano player in Diamond Rio. What a flex. Okay, I'm getting rid of these editions of Romeo and Juliet and Macbeth because I have plenty. Church book. These are all LDS fiction books that I am getting rid of. I'll probably ask my sister if she wants them, but I don't want these ones. More church books. I have 3 copies of the Book of Mormon here. I don't think I need these. I will keep 1 around the house, but I don't need this many. I also have an LDS hymn book for some reason. I don't need that. I have this pocket parent book. I don't really think I need this anymore, so cool. It does say ages 2 to 5, and my youngest is 5, so I'm in the clear. This I need to ask my husband. It's Be Prepared, a practical handbook for new dads. Church. This is an LDS fiction book. I had never read it. I don't know what it is. A pregnancy book. I don't need that. Not looking to get pregnant again. This is another LDS fiction book, and I never liked it. The Abs Diet, I don't want a diet book. This dictionary, because I already have a different one. Church book, church book, church book, church book, church book. Mom, I'm sorry if you're watching this video. Boy Scout books, don't think we need those. This is one of my favorite books in the entire world, but I have 2 copies of it, so I don't necessarily need this one. This one is in much better condition though, so I like kind of want to keep it, but I love my other copy because it's like my copy. Does that make sense? So, I don't know. Everyone go read this book. Well, first you have to read Cinder because that's the first book in the series, but read this book. It's my favorite, like, in the world. We had 2 copies of The Hunger Games. I picked the prettier one for my bookshelf. This is, Eldest. Is it Eldest or Eldest? I don't know, but we have another copy, so I don't need that one. I need to check with my husband, but here are 2 fishing books that I don't know that he needs, because he knows how to fish. He went to Alaska last summer and we're still eating all that fish. He caught a lot. I had 2 copies of this one, but also I don't love nonfiction books, so I don't need this. These ones I really debated on whether or not I want to keep them because, like, this one especially, it was a gift from my sister and that means a lot to me. It's also signed. I may debate this one for a while still, but I don't really need it. I showed you guys this one with the crazy receipt. The 2015 Writer's Market book. This is now 10 years old, so I don't think we need it. All of these church pamphlets, don't really need those. The Book of Mormon for Latter-day Saint families. I do think this book is really cool. However, I once pressed flowers in it, and so there's like all these stains in it, and these pages are like kind of stuck together and stuff, so I am gonna get rid of this. Just take it to the thrift store. All of these I'm just taking to a thrift store. I would never like throw away a book, or I'm giving them to my sister or my mom or my mother-in-law, anyone who wants them. I also have this book series, which I never read. I'm definitely giving these ones to my mom because they actually were my great aunts and she let me borrow them and I never finished them, and she passed away a couple years ago, so giving these to my mom because they'll be more special to her. Okay, I also wanted to briefly go over the organization of the shelf, so we're gonna move this a little bit. So this bottom one is mostly for books, the big books. So back in the very back, we have our biggest books that don't fit anywhere else. Most of this shelf is like my husband's stuff. So we got Lord of the Rings, we got his Dune books, we have his, what's it called? Game of Thrones books, which I'm very confused by because I thought he had all of the Game of Thrones books, but I only found 2. So I don't know where the other ones are. This shelf, all of these ones to like here are nonfiction, which is so bizarre that we have that many because my husband and I both don't really like nonfiction. I might have my husband look at them because a lot of them are his. And then I have books over here that, like, I don't know if I want to read them. I put the books that belong to my mom over here as well. I also have like poetry books from college that I do want to keep. This shelf in general is books that I don't care as much about. The next shelf, which is kind of covered by stuff, the whole section over here is mostly like teen books, so young adult books. That's actually most of the shelf. I think it's young adult books, and then over at the very end are a couple that are not. All right, this next shelf is my teenage nostalgia shelf. So we got all the Hunger Games books, Divergent, Twilight, and Harry Potter. My personal favorite shelf. I also put all of our little bobbleheads on this shelf. They're all Star Wars, except for this one, which is my love, Bumblebee. This shelf on the back end, we have all like classic literature books. We have all the Shakespeare ones, we have Charles Dickens, we have Robert Louis Stevenson, we have Pride and Prejudice is there, most of the like textbooky ones that I had in college, they're all on that shelf. So that shelf in the back is all like classic literature. And then I have a couple that are in front of them. These are just my books. All right, and then the top shelf is kind of reserved for some of my favorites. So we've got Heartless Hunter, we have the Lunar Chronicles series, we also have Heartless by Marissa Meyer, because I wanted to put Marissa Meyer together. We have the Once Upon a Broken Heart series that I love. We have Lessons in Chemistry, simply because it wouldn't fit most other places, but I do love that book. And then the Fourth Wing series. And we are going to run out of space immediately because Onyx Storm, I really need to learn the title of that book. I forget it every time. That book comes out very soon. And then back here are some CDs and then our StarCraft video games. I don't think we need those anymore because I think you just use the Blizzard cloud. I'm a techie person. P.S. I played StarCraft as a kid and then I played it with my husband a little bit when we got married. I don't really play it anymore. Also, this is my doll. She's from Scotland. When I went to Scotland, my mother-in-law bought her for me though because her name is Kaylee. Spelled differently, but this is my little Scottish doll and I love her. This top shelf also has some photo albums. So we have some bigger ones over here, some little ones right there, and then we have all of my girls' baby books. They each have their own baby book with just photos from their very first year of life. So aren't they so cute? I plan to make more of these with like every year of my girl's life, but that hasn't happened. I've only done the baby ones. So there we go. I've organized my bookshelf. Don't look up top. That's where I keep all my Disney ears. It's my shrine to Disney. It was payday. For my husband, not for me. I'm jobless and broke. I can buy my ears thing. Reaching up there. I have 1 million of these ears. There's a bunch up there, but there's also a bunch over on a table over there. And I needed a place to store them. And I found these cute things where they can hang on a wall, and that would be really cute because I'd love to display them because they make me happy. But it was payday, so I can buy them now. So let's do that. This is a perfect image because my channel, I hope to be mostly like Disney and books. So there you go. This is me. Disney, books. I think we're done. I'm gonna take these off again. All right, we did it, except for the stuff on my bed, which I don't know what to do with, but we did it. It's not dark yet. It's not sunset. I'm gonna end this video here. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like. Also briefly, I hope I did not insult anyone for getting rid of all of my religious books. That's just not me anymore, so I don't need them. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.